Good morning, dear students. Today, let's continue the chapter of Christmas morning. Yesterday, we could see that the girls were too much excited to present their gifts to their mother. They collected their gifts in a basket and kept under the sofa. Why was the basket hidden under the sofa? Because they wished to give a surprise for their mother. The girls were waiting their mother, who went to help someone who had come asking for help. Now, let's see what is next. Jo was dancing about the room to take the first stiffness of the new slippers that she had got for their mother. Beth had marked a handkerchief for her and picked her a beautiful rose from the garden, and Amy had bought her a little bottle of cologne. Jo had new slippers for her mother, and Beth had a handkerchief and a rose flower. Amy had a little bottle of cologne. Cologne is a type of perfume. There is mother, hide the basket, quick, cried Jo as a door slammed, followed by footsteps in the hall. They quickly hid the basket under the sofa. When they heard the sound of the footsteps and the door, they hid the basket quickly. Merry Christmas, Mommy! Thank you for our books. We read a few pages and mean to every day, they all said in chorus. They said they started reading the books which they got from their mother as a gift. They told they will read it every day. They all said in chorus. Chorus means together. They said these words together. Merry Christmas, little daughters. I'm glad you began reading at once and hope you will keep on reading. But I want to say one word before we sit down. Not far from here lives a poor woman, Mrs. Hummel, with a little newborn baby. 6 children are huddled into one bed to keep from freezing, for they have no fire. There is nothing to eat over there, and the oldest boy came to tell me they were hungry and cold. My girls, will you give them your breakfast as a Christmas present? Their mother told them about Mrs. Hummel's family and how they are suffering in cold. They are very poor, and the mother requested the girls to give their breakfast to the poor family. They were all unusually hungry, having waited nearly an hour. And for a minute, no one spoke, only a minute. And then Jo exclaimed, I'm so glad you came before we began. Let's take our breakfast there. These girls were unusually hungry because they were waiting their mother nearly an hour, but they agreed to give their breakfast to them. They were too kind-hearted like their mother, so they decided to go and give their breakfast to them. May I go and help carry the things to the poor little children? Asked Beth eagerly. Beth was eager to carry the breakfast for them. I shall take the muffins, added Amy, heroically giving up the article she most liked. Muffins are small domed spongy cakes usually made with eggs and baking powder. I shall take the muffins, added Amy, heroically giving up the article she most liked. Amy liked it very much. Now she's giving up muffins for them. Meg was already covering the buckwheats and piling the bread into one big plate. Here is a picture of buckwheats. Here they have some dish with buckwheat flour. So Meg was already covering the buckwheats and piling the bread into one big plate. They kept all the bread in one big plate. I thought you would do it, said Mrs. March, smiling. You shall all go and help me, and when we come back, we will have bread and milk for breakfast. We will have a nice dinner to make up for giving up our breakfast. Their mother felt so happy. She said she thought her children would do it. She knows them very well, and she also told them they would have bread and milk for breakfast when they come back, and also they will have a nice dinner to make up for giving up their breakfast. These children are too generous. They happily gave up their favorite breakfast food for Mrs. Hummel's hungry children. So, dear children, I hope you understood up to here. Read it again and again. We will continue the chapter tomorrow. Thank you.